trip, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
Buongiorno.
Or even Derchi.
And welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy. That's Spenny.
What up, though?
Young
Yes,
Christopher Platte. Young Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. Unky Nick. Nick, you met Broderick Martin this weekend.
Broderick Martin, maybe we haven't signed any heavyweights yet, but maybe it's because we have such high expectations for Broderick Martin.
You met Broderick Martin?
I met him yesterday.
Where at?
Super nice guy. He was under my apartment. There's a restaurant.
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
he held the door open for me, and I did like a double take. Did the second look back, and I was like,
Yeah, you don't see many 6'7",
no.
350-pound dudes.
I was like, Broderick, you gonna get some playing time next year? He's like, hell yeah, man, I hope so.
Fuck yeah.
Shout out B-Rod. He was really cool.
Speaking of heavyweights, the Detroit Lions brought back your twin,
Yes.
Graham Glasgow.
Yes.
And I knew like there was a resemblance, but there was a point today where I was looking at my computer, sending a photo to Chris. Actually, if you want to put it up, and then like you walked in at the same time, and I looked up, and it was like, it literally is.
Bro,
if you had a different facial hair, if you structured it differently.
Me, Graham Glasgow, and Andrew Chafin. I need to I'm gonna talk with I don't know, Broder and
D-Mac.
And see if we can get me, Andrew Chafin, and Graham Glasgow all in the room together at the same time, and we can just talk about our family origins. But no, I'm happy, man. Especially with the money that's been given out to guards. We've seen guards get today.
Bro,
Jonah Jackson got a ridiculous deal. He's making
51 or 57?
$17 million a year. We saw another guard go to
the Panthers.
the Panthers.
$100 million deal for a
$20
guard.
million a year.
What the fuck?
Insane.
That shit is insane.
Insane stuff. And my guy Jonah. My guy Graham.
name's Jonah.
He got a good deal. He got paid a decent amount. I think it was 6.5 or something like that. So yeah, I'm happy for him, man, and I'm happy we got him. It's my brother.
Yeah, they're gonna be in 6.6. It was 3 years for 20.
3 years,
Something like that.
21,
You
I
look
think.
like a starting guard for real, says David Baxter. Hey, I'm almost as in probably as good shape as I was when I was playing tackle. I didn't play guard, but I played guard, I played tackle, I played center, so I got versatility, and Brad loves versatility. You need to start left guard. Well, Brad, I can move some people around, brother. But
you could be the Will Harris of the offensive line.
I can be the Will Harris of the offensive line. I'm just happy we got Graham back. This is exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah,
you're going to let
everyone-
Jonah walk. He's going to get a big contract. You re-sign Graham to a friendly contract. And
You
run.
draft your other guy.
Yeah.
I guess, and then we'll have that later in the show too. What would you rather have, that rookie and or an experienced guy when you have an offense as complex as ours when it comes to blocking? But I just one more time want to point this out in case anybody missed it, because I love shitting on the Panthers as of late. I love shitting on the Atlanta Falcons as of late. Atlanta Falcons, by the way, no more Kirk Cousins in Minnesota.
Yeah.
We'll be speaking on that too. But the Panthers
JJ for sure.
signed guard Robert Hunt.
Robert Hunt, yeah.
5 years, $100 million. What?
Yeah,
What the? That's crazy.
that is pretty wild.
That is insane.
That is pretty Steve Wilds. I mean,
It's pretty Steve.
that's
Wilds.
pretty Steve Wilds. That's
Holy
a tackle
shit.
contract for a guard. You
Yes.
don't see that kind of money getting thrown around. God, you don't see that kind of money getting thrown around that much to guards. But I mean, hey, big fella's getting paid. And shout out my boy. You mentioned it a little in passing. You didn't really spend the time on it that it deserves.
No, we're gonna
My
talk
boy
about
Kirk
It's got its
Cousins.
own segment.
My boy Kirk Cousins, Spartan Dog, getting that check.
Yeah,
About
that's
to make
another one.
$300+ million in his NFL career. Spartan Dog get paid.
Listen, that offensive lineman, if you're doing the math, got paid $1 million for every 3 inches of Bryce Young. That's crazy.
That's pretty wild.
$100+ million is insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for what is viewed as not the most important position on the field, and in a position you can draft and kind of fill in pretty well. So I think Cooper Bebe season is among us. I think it's going to be Cooper Bebe or Zach Zinner. We're going to get
you calling out the name?
Yeah, I think I'd want Cooper Bebe.
You want Cooper?
Cooper Bebe, I like you, and I want you. We can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way.
I want it.
Around here, I calls you Chris Handsome. Dude, I would love Cooper Bebe to be. And you don't got to use your first round pick on him. You can get him in the second or even possibly the third, which is perfect.
It sounded like a third from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not from a lot of people, but from Trevor.
From PFF, yeah.
I mean, he
Trevor doesn't. He admitted that he's not as high on him as other people.
He's not a big Cooper Bebe guy. Everyone was kind of freaking out. I told everyone to like, kind of calm down on Twitter, on X, at @SpeakySports_.
Everything's going to be fine.
Moves, but I was like, yo, 49ers, Ravens, Chiefs, all 4 teams in the conference championship games last year hadn't made a move yet. But then right across my phone, Leonard Floyd signed with the 49ers. Defensive end. I'm trying to see how much money he signed for. That'd be the first move out of a, I guess, conference champion to make a move today. But I think people should calm down a little bit. I was kind of laughing at certain points too, like when I saw like people being upset about Christian Wilkins signing elsewhere.
That was a crazy contract. He's making more than Justin Matabuki.
Yeah, that is crazy. $27 million a year.
Yeah,
I think it was.
He's the third highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL.
Yeah,
and
second now. I think.
I'm just he's behind Chris Jones and Aaron Donald. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, everybody's getting a little freaked out, getting a little worried. Spenny's All-Stars still haven't got signed yet.
Who?
The guys I've wanted, still out there.
Who?
DJ Reader's still out there.
Yes.
Daniil Hunter's still out there.
Yep.
Obviously, nothing has happened with L'Jarius Sneed yet.
Nothing's happened with any of the cornerbacks yet.
So, RELAX.
Yes.
I can't believe I'm the one. We're the ones telling you guys this.
Well, dude,
'Cause
Brad
we're the
Holmes
ones that
told everybody he's
overreacted.
not going to spend money. He told you guys.
I think he's going to, though.
So anybody you expected like big splash moves, like day one of free agency, we quite literally told you he's not going to spend money on external ads. You're blowing my fucking mind right now. I don't understand how. Like, it's not like us speculating it. It's Brad Holmes literally in an interview and then in a presser afterward the draft, like reiterated the same things. He's not going to spend money on the guys.
Shift God
externally.
says everyone we had talked about has signed. No, that's not true.
No,
literally
Diego
the
Autry.
3 people that I've wanted the most in this free agency are still out there. So, because Chris Jones, Justin Matabuke, yeah, I'd love them, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. The 3 guys that I've wanted the most are DJ Reader, Daniil Hunter, and L'Jarius Sneed. So if you can get 2 of those 3, or
You're still on some crackhead shit though,
we'll see.
because 2 of those guys is like, come on, bro.
We'll see.
There is one that I know Nick wants to get off his chest, and I don't know if I let you build it up through a commercial break or not, but it's also one that upset me. One of the ones that upset me. Diego Autry was like 2 years, $10 million to the Texans. Was that the one that got you all pissed off?
I mean, it's not all pissed off. I mean, you're going to miss on guys that you fall in love with during the process, but he was definitely the guy that put up numbers, and as a veteran piece for this defense, I thought he would have been great, honestly. So I was a little bit disappointed with that one.
Zaquan, defense will be trash again. Guys, relax. If everybody and everyone has ever gotten signed gets signed, then we'll talk about it. And you remember, you guys were all yelling at me. You guys were yelling at me when I was mad about the Emmanuel Mosley because I didn't want them to be complacent after just signing Emmanuel Mosley. Mm-hmm. We'll see. There's still a lot of cornerbacks out there. My 2 favorite defensive lineman prospects are still available. Relax.
2-year,
by the way-
$20 million for that Leonard Floyd number.
2 years, $20 million?
Yeah, let me double check this. The real NFL real quick. My bad.
So you got kind of quiet there. What did you say?
Yeah, 2 years, $20 million
2
for
years, $20
Leonard
million.
Floyd. That's good for us if we are trying to pursue Danielle Hunter, because he was
Danielle.
in talks with the 49ers. I know that.
Yeah, Daniel Hunter's still out there. And honestly, I was listening to the NFL Plus is what I got because I don't have cable right now.
Yeah.
And they said, I mean, that's the guy. It's a landing spot. It's Detroit. That's them. It's like them speculating like a good fit. I don't know if it's a move that Brad will make, but I mean, the more we're
Don't worry,
seeing,
we'll
like,
get
money
Will
being
Harris
spent
back.
elsewhere, I mean, maybe.
Keitho says, don't worry, we'll get Will Harris back.
Don't care. That wasn't worth interrupting me for. Thanks a lot, Spenny. Piece of shit. Either way, man, I don't know if Daniel Hunter's going to happen. I'm here for it, though, if it does. Emmanuel Mosley, that was the veteran minimum.
Yeah.
So you and the camp of yous can calm down
Yeah,
about that.
that's fine. $2 million a year.
Craig Reynolds returns. That one, I have to look like that one was actually kind of high from when I looked at. I think it was like something like I could be mistaken. Maybe I should wait.
Well, you make up for it because both guys that just signed to DeAndre Swift and who else was it? DeAndre Swift
Jacobs.
and Tony Pollard are both making more money than David Montgomery.
That's crazy.
Tony Pollard and DeAndre Swift are both making $8 million a year.
Is it Josh Jacobs as well?
Josh Jacobs is making like 12.
Which, by the way, I mean, what is the reaction to? We'll do that next one, actually. We'll go across the NFC North contracts. The other one I got upset about, Danico Autry was one. because I felt like that was affordable and that was a fit. Obviously, we had Terrell Williams here too, his former coach. But the other piece of it, Alexander Van Ginkel. Mm-hmm. I allow myself to think that was enough like a under the radar free agency signing that like would fit Brad's like MO, which like he didn't get paid that much. I mean, 2 years, $20 million, 14 guaranteed. But like I think the versatility that he holds as both an edge rusher and like that Sam linebacker. I mean, he plays great in coverage. Not great in coverage. I mean, as great as you can at the Sam linebacker spot, right? But also was able to rush the passer. It's a guy you could have kept in the field like the full time and allowed you to like really deploy guys like Jack Campbell and whoever the hell else you wanted to. And that sucked because I felt like that was a value signing. Like $10 million wasn't a lot. Yeah. For a guy that's rushing. He had 9 sacks last year. In limited time, by the way, too. That's what upset me. Nick?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely just need defensive help. Like, if we need help on this defensive line, no matter what, I want to see it addressed in free agency because I don't know if we have the firepower to trade up in the draft, but I want a proven veteran for this defense, for this Super Bowl run that we are waiting to go on. You know, I don't want to pair a rookie with Aiden Hutchinson. I think that they need to go out and get a vet, honestly.
Yeah, like I said, Brad Holmes said you fill needs in the free agency. That's where you fill needs on your team. So I don't think he's just going to leave the 2 needs open. You need a cornerback. You need a defensive lineman. I believe he is going to sign 1, if not 2, of those positions. He's going to bring some guys in here. So I'm not too worried about it just yet.
Shift God brings up Bryce Huff. He signed for that $17 million a year for the Eagles. I think that means for the Eagles, Hassan Reddick gone.
Yes.
He's getting traded. I don't know if that's a target for Brad. That's the other part of it too. Like we're looking at just free agency, and obviously you should because that's the guys that are like openly available. You can go and get. But I could see Brad making a move like via trade too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not necessarily opposed to that idea. I think that's just like a smart move too because you acquire a guy that's already under contract. We don't have to like reset the market on a new deal just because he's like one of the only guys available. Yeah. But I guess the important piece to make note of for everybody here, all the cornerbacks are still there.
That's
everyone
not true.
Outside of Bunting.
That's not
signed.
true, man.
What?
Jeff Okudah got signed.
Oh.
Jeff Okudah got signed.
I mean, that wasn't happening.
To a 1 year, like $4 million deal. That's a big miss by Brad. Like,
I think he's
look at the big brain on Brad. Jeff Okudah is a generational type cornerback.
I think he might.
I mean, yeah,
can't miss.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right in Houston.
One guy that did get let go today, big playoff production, Eric Armstead, defensive tackle, 49ers. How are you guys feeling about Armstead's potential fit with the Lions?
He is a guy that I could see Brad signing because he deals with a lot of injuries. That's a guy who's injured. If he's healthy, he is a menace in the middle. He can stop the run at a high level. He can rush the passer at a high level. He has versatility to where you can move him around the defensive line, put him in different positions. Yeah, that'd be nice. But we'll see how much he's going to be asking for with the. We know this defensive tackle market. It's looking pretty big right now. Yeah. So it's a pretty deep defensive tackle market, and they're spending a lot of money on these guys. So I don't know if Brad's going to shell out the money for that guy, but I still got faith DJ Reader. There were reports that the Lions have been talking with DJ Reader.
Yep.
And that is, we talked about.
We've been told Lions talking to DJ Reader.
Yeah, we've been told from people the Lions are talking to DJ Reader. And we talked about an eater who eats it for lunch in between Ali McNeil and Aiden Hutchinson. Look at Trey Hendrickson last year. Look what Trey Hendrickson did last year. A lot of that is because DJ Reader is in the middle of that defensive line taking up 2 people, taking up 2 blockers. So if you could put that in between Ali McNeil and Aiden Hutchinson, rotate him with Broderick as those just big body bends in the middle of the defensive line, I would love that.
Let's go to break. When we get back, let's talk about some of the signings around the NFC North. Hopefully some news, or maybe some news will break with the Detroit Lions, but not before you tell us about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals no matter where you're at. Planet Fitness has a gym near you. More than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables. Amazing appeal, the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com. Click the shop tab today because they got hoodies, tees, and hats all guaranteed to turn heads. So do yourself a favor, head on over to woodwardsports.com and click the shop tab today.
What up, though? Welcome to World Heavyweights Live at WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy, Espimo Raps.
What up, though?
Young Chris.
Young Four Wheels.
Huh?
Young Four Wheels.
Okay, I got no headphones. Uncle Nick.
Let's go.
Got Steph joining the show.
Yo, what up?
What up, man? I kind of want to go over some NFC North signings. Some guys that we're going to have to see twice a year now in the division. There's one. Actually, I'll start with that one because it's the only one that really made me nervous. Because I know there's some big name signings. Josh Jacobs to the Packers, 3 years. Can I be honest with you guys? I think it's been. I've voiced this on the show before. Overhyped. In my opinion, I think he's overrated. I'm really not like Josh Jacobs. Don't do shit for me. They don't make me nervous. The Packers are paying him $10 million a year. Good for them. I hope they.
$12 million a year.
12 million.
Yeah,
12?
4 years, $48 million.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, even better. I think that's stupid. Josh Jacobs.
I like Josh Jacobs more than you do. I know that. I think he, in the right offense, could look good. I think in Matt LaFleur's offense, he's going to have a good year. He's a good running back. He's shown what he can do when he gets the targets, when he gets the run, when he gets the carries. He's shown that he can be a good running back in the NFL. Am I signing him to $12 million a year? No, I'm not doing that. But I still think he's good.
Absolutely not.
What do you think about Josh Jacobs?
Honestly, I kind of got a question for both of y'all. Which offense is becoming more scarier, the Packers or the Chicago Bears?
I would say the Packers right now, just because we know what they have. Obviously, Caleb Williams is still going to be pretty good. That's the thing. Like,
what?
Justin Fields was supposed to go to Atlanta. Wasn't that a whole thing?
I heard some Raiders probably actually, they just signed
Gardner
Minshew.
Steelers. He was like pitching. They were pitching.
No, I heard Steelers and Falcons, but then obviously
got Russ,
which we didn't really talk about that, but we will. The Falcons got Kirk Cousins. Another guy exiting the NFC North. You insert Josh Jacobs. I don't think anyone's pressed over that. What do you have against us?
You were scared of the Packers last year, though. You don't think that doesn't?
No,
that's an upgrade to Aaron Jones.
You always put scared. I was never scared of the Packers, but they were the biggest threat in the conference.
Are they still?
Or I'm sorry, in the division. Yeah, I'd say so. I gotta see Caleb on the field. I gotta see it like in action, and then I'll get a feel
it's
for it.
It's one of those show me's, honestly. At this point, enough of the talking. I'm tired of hearing, "Oh, just watch the tape." I want to see if you actually throw it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with Caleb Williams. I think he's gonna be good, but like let's see it first. But no, yeah, it's definitely to the Packers. Yeah. I guess one thing with Josh Jacobs, although he has some injury history, a little bit of injury history too. I think every running back probably misses like 2 or 3 games a year, so maybe I'm overhyping it a little bit, but I'm not really pressed over him. If he's healthy, maybe he produces like another 1,000 yards. His best year was at 1,600, but it's like a load and a void by itself.
Yeah.
Everything else is like just over 1,000, which we did this year, splitting carries with David Montgomery, and damn near did it again with Gibby. So I'm not really tripping over that one. How about Swift? DeAndre Swift.
Absolutely not worried.
That's my
about
dog.
That's crazy, bro.
The Bears.
He got paid $8 million a year for being an offensive line merchant in the Eagles system. Like, yeah, I'm not worried about DeAndre Swift.
It was more than an offensive line merch. He had 1,000 yards last year.
It was an offensive line merchant.
Come on.
Yeah, and so did Miles Sanders 2 years ago. How do you talk about Miles Sanders like he's a bum? So you could put any running back in front of that offensive line, and they're
Miles Sanders is a bum. DeAndre Swift's actually good when healthy. Let's not kid it.
Who had a better year in that offense?
I think Swift still. I mean, you might pull up the numbers. I would still say it was Swift. Swift's a talented guy. He just doesn't really stay healthy. That we've always discussed that. That's when he left. That's what we said too. I know you and Flannel Sam a little bit DeAndre Swift haters though, since he was in the Lions
Miles
uniform.
Sanders had 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns.
Okay, what DeAndre Swift
against
had?
the Eagles? Swift barely had 1,000.
Barely had 1,000. I think he had 1,065 or something like that.
Yeah.
But also,
barely
didn't barely start getting snaps for him until like that fourth week too. Swift killed it for the Eagles last year. He was an offensive line merchant.
Swift is an offensive line merchant.
I ain't doing that. But I will say he does have trouble staying on the field, and I'm not really pressed over it. They're paying DeAndre Swift. It's crazy enough. They're paying DeAndre Swift more money than we're paying David Montgomery right now.
Swift had
that's crazy to me.
1,049 and 5 touchdowns, and he only had 214 receiving yards, which is pretty wild.
That part, yeah, that's kind
I think the wildest part is that we have yet to realize that the Chicago Bears is now the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
They have to pay out the ass just to get these players to get in the door, and like they're gonna be out of fucking money. Like by the end of the week, like
probably.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
They still got signed. They got signed 2 first rounders, both in the top 10.
Yep.
They spent their bread on DeAndre Swift. Obviously, $8 million a year is kind of up there for running backs. I guess here's my thing with DeAndre Swift. He is really, really good, but he's just never consistently available. So it's like, okay, maybe he could be a little bit dangerous. Maybe and also he's 4 years in the league. Like they start to deteriorate. There's a reason why the running back market is like declining.
Yeah, it's DeAndre Swift's an offensive line merchant. Now he's getting put behind one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. Like, good luck, buddy. Good luck. We'll see you twice a year. Good luck running on us.
Yeah, I was going to say right there, I think Chicago needs to go offensive line with that second first rounder, honestly. I mean, it would be dangerous to see them pair like a Romo Duze with like a guy in DJ Moore. But if they want to be smart about this and with their franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams, they need to go tackle at 9. I think you take the best offensive tackle in the draft.
Yeah.
Actually, Chris, don't we have a graphic for the Montgomery versus DeAndre Swifts?
I believe
like
so.
A little head-to-head?
Yep.
Paulo's in your throat and Swift, man. What do you...
Swift was good. I never understood the hate for Swift. I really don't. Outside of the injuries.
He dropped
a year
that
younger, over $2 million more.
Yeah.
He did play more games than David Montgomery. I guess there is that. Only 10 more carries.
Played more games, had more carries, only 30 more yards, and half as many touchdowns.
And I took him in fantasy early.
He did get vultured. I mean, he got vultured by
exactly.
Jalen Hurts all year.
That's what I was just thinking about that on the way here, too, is like, Saquon Barkley to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Man.
Jalen Hurts is going to be undraftable in fantasy next year.
Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts will be undraftable in fantasy next year.
Why?
Because you lose Jason Kelsey and you sign Saquon Barkley.
Oh, they're still about to be tush pushing.
They're not going to be tush pushing as much as they did.
I mean, maybe.
You know who's the most important part of the tush push? Jason Kelsey.
They'll be tush pushing.
We'll see.
They'll be tush pushing. I was just wondering, you pay Saquon Barkley $12 million a year to sit there on the sidelines. Well, he'll still be in there as like a decoy or whatever. I mean, good for Saquon. I'm glad he got his money. Speaking of clowning organizations, I know this one's supposed to be up the NFC North. The New York Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you pay Daniel Jones $45 million and you have Saquon Barkley, who's essentially your entire fucking offense? You don't even give him 12 to stay. You just let him walk. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. I hope Saquon fucking does damage to the Giants every single time he sees them. I hope he stays healthy enough to see him. Congratulations, Saquon, get his bag. Detroit Lions still beat that Eagles team, by the way. You got anything on the, I guess, Swift and or Barkley?
Honestly, good luck keeping them healthy, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Especially in Chicago, them bones get cold, man. Them knees gonna crack. He's gonna crack when Hutch hit his ass.
That's true too. He's playing outside. Well, I guess Philly was outside too.
But Chicago a different type of cold, man.
Yeah, it's like windier. I mean, it's the windy city.
Windier. And that stadium shitty as hell.
Yeah.
The Bears also signed Kevin Byard too. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. I know he's not what he used to be, but like I just know their defense has a say what you want, and I hate the Bears more than anybody. I would say, but they got a nice little recipe going there on defense.
Yes, they do.
And they had Kevin Byard to that too.
How much? Do you know what his contract was?
I don't. I'll look that up during, I guess, a little bit of the conversation there. But regardless of the contract, he's only going to be there like 1 or 2 years. He's kind of old.
It's rental.
But that middle of the field is going to be kind of locked down. That's where we eat.
Sheena Quick, ESPN, she just reported, barring a last-minute complete breakdown in negotiations, Brian Burns will be a New York Giant, per sources.
Who is she?
She is a writer for NFL.
That could
For
be
the
dangerous.
NFL?
Yeah.
It could be a
Oh, so
dangerous duo.
that's a thing.
It could be a dangerous duo in New York with
She's a
Tim
halftime
Thibodeau
reporter for
and
Revolt.
Burns.
That'd be a nice little duo.
Yeah.
Him and Thibodeau.
Yeah.
They still got Dexter Lawrence in the middle.
It's almost like we should steal their idea and do it with Hutchinson and Hunter.
Man, something in me feels like the Hunter thing is
Dead?
no.
I think it's
Alive.
possible. Yeah.
We have not made a single move.
And if
We have
Brad
not made a single move.
if Brad tried to trade for him at the trade deadline, which he did, which reports came out that Brad was trying to trade for Daniil Hunter at the trade deadline, why would you be willing to trade for him and re-sign him and not just regularly sign him? Like, I think they're, oh man, that'd be nice.
I was reading a couple comments from Woodward Sports Chat.
Gus Edwards to the Chargers.
Yeah, I ain't really worried about that. I really thought Saquon Barkley was going to be a Charger. Giants trading for Brian Burns. Saquon says it too.
Yeah.
When we get back, a little more reactions to the NFL free agency. Also, a lot of stuff going on in the NFC North. But before then, Spenny, tell us about Lady Jane's.
Lady Jane's. You can come into Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in any time. It's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. And catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday.
Welcome to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy. Spin Mo Rex, Young Chris, we got Dev in the building, Unky Nick. Smash that like button if you guys have it already. One piece, two pieces, two acquisitions.
Red piece, blue piece?
Yeah. Two acquisitions in the NFC North that I wasn't a fan of for the Detroit Lions. Was one, Alex Van Ginkel.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been kind of like vocal about him becoming a Detroit Lion. I think it just opens up so many more things for what we do defensively. I spoke that piece. A guy that I thought would be, again, under the radar signing, who didn't really sign for, I guess $19 million kind of is a lot, but not really when, like, in the age of, like, these guys getting 20 plus, right, as edge rushers. But Jonathan Grenard, coupled with Van Ginkel on the Vikings with Brian Flores, who likes those exotic blitzes.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No, Brian Flores is he's a great defensive coordinator. Van Ginkel is a very versatile piece. You can move around and do a lot of things. So yeah, it's they got some good. Bears made some good signings. Vikings made a couple good. Vikings needed that though. They didn't have an edge rusher. They didn't have a guy to get the quarterback. No, he's a free agent.
Well, they had him though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't have one right now.
Yeah.
Until the guys they just signed, so they needed to do that, and they weren't going to re-sign Daniil Hunter. So. Yeah, they had to go after guys, and they got one. So we'll see. They're not any better than they were last year.
No, I think that's
Breaking news, though,
What?
per Tom Pelissero, the Los Angeles Chargers
Oh, it's not breaking news.
are signing former
I hate
Seahawks
you.
tight end Will Dissly to a 3-year, $14 million deal, $10 million fully guaranteed. Jim Harbaugh and Spencer Raster, no ball. Just saying.
I got excited. Not gonna lie, I was excited in here. Damn.
Why? For Will Dissly?
No, I thought it was gonna be a Lions thing.
Oh yeah, I know. This guy's obsessed with Will Dissly. Yeah.
Is that-
No, but I think
is that not breaking
Brian
news?
Flores, obviously he likes to drop with all these blitzes. He likes to drop. He just does all that weird exotic shit. You've heard Dan Campbell speak about it at the podium. Jared Goff. I mean, everybody in the world knows how Brian Flores gets down. Well, now you have multiple pieces where you can get a little funky there. I think he can cook up something dangerous against Detroit Lions. The only thing that makes me not worry as much, and I said this in the chat, maybe I'll word it differently, but I was gonna say that Jared Goff knows the Ben Johnson scheme like Christian Harper's rag. Like, he just knows it like too well. Where we saw it this year, the blitz doesn't really affect him as bad as they have in the past. It's because he knows where everyone's gonna be. So as much as he could draw up something different or cook up something different with those two pieces, Grenard and Van Ginkel, they would have to like physically just beat a guy like Penei Sewell off the line. Taylor Decker, okay, there's a 50-50 there, and like get to Goff before he makes his read. But again, he knows the offense as well as he does. Those reads, he knows with the back of his hand. Christian Harper's boobies, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but the Vikings are better on defense than they were last year. They lost some pieces, so they needed to add pieces to reset. Van Ginkel is not better than Danielle Hunter, so they're in a situation where they're going to need to draft somebody still.
He's more versatile. Who draft like an edge rusher? You're saying?
Yeah.
That'll be fine. I think Jonathan Grenard, Van Ginkel, that's fantastic. You got two guys right there. They just probably got to get someone in the middle, maybe. But they have what? They got Harrison Phillips, or where's he at?
I don't know, but question for you fellas: with Minnesota making these two additions on the D line here, where do you guys rank them in the NFC North without a guy in Kirk Cousins as well that just left in their quarterback? Do you guys think they go quarterback in the draft now?
Man, I've seen a lot of people kind of clown the Minnesota Vikings for losing Kirk, which I'm clowning anybody who signs Kirk. He's going to be 36 by the time the season starts, and the Falcons just paid him $45 million a year.
It's ridiculous.
Guaranteed, both 24 and 25. He's also coming off of I'm sorry. It just blows my mind. He's coming off an Achilles injury. This is the same organization that passed up on Lamar Jackson.
Spartan Dog, get your back.
Yeah, Spartan Dog, get your bag. But like, the Falcons are openly like, yeah, we don't want none of Lamar. And then you go and sign the 36-year-old Kirk Cousins off of Achilles. That's
4
fucking
years.
wild.
4 years.
That is insane.
$100 million guaranteed.
Why?
Yeah.
He knows how to get the
But
bag.
I guess relating it back to the Minnesota Vikings, they might get Sam Darnold. A lot of people clowning that move. But Sam Darnold's a lion killer. In multiple different jerseys. When they did it with the Panthers, he did his debut with the Jets.
Yeah, after throwing that pick six.
After throwing the pick six. Went on to defeat the Detroit Lions. Shout out Matt Patricia, fuck you. And then obviously last year, 2 years ago, I say now too, with the Carolina Panthers. Like, say what you want about Sam Darnold, he is serviceable, and he is a Lions killer. I'm not like clowning that one as much. And by the way, too, I don't even remember the guy's name they had in that quarterback last year, throwing for like 300 plus yards. That's why I can't wait to see like what we're doing in the secondary, because that's what Brad said he's addressing for agency needs. Well, that's a fucking need.
Yeah.
Because they had what the fuck was the guy's name? I'm sorry for swearing.
Wasn't it like Mullen or something like that?
Yeah, Nick
Mullins?
Mullen or something like that.
Yeah.
Throwing for like 300 plus each time.
He was balling.
I think 400 the second time.
He was he was slinging that. Now he threw some interceptions and some bad passes too, but he was cooking up.
He threw for 396 and 411.
Oh my god!
In his 2 games against us, but
oh my god,
two dubs. So take all the yards you want.
Yeah, so they can get Sam Darnold, then they'll be straight. I mean, they're not going to be world beaters by any means. I feel like after today, they're still probably that might be the new worst team in the NFC North.
Oh, the Vikings?
Yeah,
for sure.
And to be honest with you, the NFC North's like on the way up too. It's not really necessarily like a diss at all, because like the NFC North is getting really competitive
great
now too.
It's great. It's a great division.
Bears coming up.
It's a
I
great
was just
division.
about to say, what do you think next year is going to be the strongest division, the NFC or the AFC?
I think
Probably
it's
AFC
still going to be the AFC
just because of
West,
quarterbacks. Oh, the strongest division? Yeah,
AFC West, I think still.
Oh, yeah, AFC West. Yeah, they just got Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby as a duo now too.
Oh,
that's
Sheesh. Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens with I think the Broncos aren't going to be good, but
Yeah. I picture freaking Pat Mahomes is swinging in the air. We saw the Christian Wilkins signing. I saw you tweet something out. Did you think the Lions were going to make that move? Christian Wilkins?
no.
I saw you tweet something out. I knew that was gonna happen. When
Yeah,
that
they said they were
I saw a lot
talking
of
to
people,
him
Oh
initially.
man, like bro, what do you guys?
It was a
come on.
pipe dream, but it would have
Yeah.
been awesome though. Honestly,
Brad ain't
But-
spending that bread.
yeah, 27 million.
That was an insane. I didn't know. I had no idea he was going to make that much money.
What? How much?
Christian Wilkins, 27 million a year. Yeah.
Man, that's a lot. It should work out for him.
I think on this show we projected like 18 or 20. Like
Sure.
I think
I said at least 20. It's
yeah,
starting at 20.
I think if I'm not mistaken. But the other thing, kind of relating back to our division here, Justin Fields was linked to 2 teams. Atlanta, they got Kirk Cousins.
Yup.
Russ just signed with the Steelers. Now it is only a 1-year deal, but
Yeah.
I think that means that he's going to be their starter for a year.
For sure.
So I don't know, that whole quarterback market thing is going to be weird with Justin Fields. What they're going to do.
I think he's going. I saw something, and I don't remember if it was from like a reliable source or not, but I saw something with the Raiders. But then again, like I said earlier, they just signed freaking Minshew.
2 at 25.
2 of 25 mil.
Yeah, 2
Oh,
years,
2 at
25. Yeah,
25.
so it's like 12 and a half.
You think that closed the door on Fields or?
What did we pay Teddy 2 gloves last year?
I think it was 6 mil.
Yeah, I think it was like 6.
6 mil. So
I could love to get
double that.
Confirmed, yeah, but he's also like probably like the best backup in the league. I'd say. I mean, they almost made the playoffs last year, and he obviously did the playoff. He won. No, actually, no, he didn't. That was Bortles I'm thinking of. But Minshew's still respectable. He ain't nothing to like sneeze at.
Does a team like New Orleans, who's in kind of cap hell, look at him, or are they too committed to Carr?
They're financially committed to Carr. That's the thing, and they just had to renegotiate his deal to kick that can down the road because of how much debt they're in.
Yeah.
So I really don't even. I think the Raiders. I mean, I'm asking. What do you think, Nick? Do you think that Minshew deal closed the door to Justin Fields?
The Raiders are one of the most questionable teams in all of the NFL. So they're a wild card. They could do anything here. I don't think it closes the door. If you can get a guy like Fields in your building, you try and still do that.
Teddy Bridgewater's deal, by the way, was $3 million with a $3 million bonus if he actually saw the field and played there a little bit. What are you thinking, Dev? Justin Fields
reacting to this breaking news.
Linebacker, Panthers linebacker Frankie
Lua.
Yep, just signed a 3-year deal with the Commanders for $36 million.
I mean, they got defense coordinator, head coach. That one makes sense. What was the price on that?
36 mil.
36. That ain't bad. He's solid.
More people saying Josina Anderson just tweeted that Lions are talking with DJ Reader.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I put it out there today. I think you put it out there. This is something that we kind of like was privy to a little bit earlier that is something we'd be interested in. I think it just makes sense. I mean, you want to talk about guys that Brad likes to acquire. You talk about injuries, like DJ's coming fresh off an injury too. It's a position of need, and that's how Brad Holmes shops for agency. He looks for these guys that are going to be on these prove-it deals. Since he's become a Detroit Lions general manager, has always grabbed somebody with something to prove. DJ Reader in that similar situation. I'm curious what the contract will look like coming off of his second quad tear, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 2 of those things. It's in the same leg. Does anybody know?
I'm not sure.
I probably should have done the homework to know that. I'll look that up, but hey, give me DJ Reader. Give me a block eater.
Yes.
DJ Reader the block eater. Pause.
I would love it, bro. I would love it.
That's what Alex Anzalone hit Twitter today. He was like, what do you guys want to see the Lions do? He said, get a big body in front of you and some lengthy motherfuckers behind you. That's what I need. Pause. I mean, I forgot to say the pause, but someone reminded me. I got it in afterward. But yeah, give me DJ Reader. I'm fine with that too. And if I'm honest with you, I still want somebody else too on the defensive line. Just because of the quad tear. I don't know if we could. Similar situation to Emmanuel Mosley last year. Like, yeah, we got a proven guy, obviously, but with the injury, he re-injured himself. DJ Reader, let's get a little insurance policy along with that. No, Nick?
Yeah, I'm in for it. Definitely DJ Reader. And I think it's cool to see Anzalone actually like tweeting out like to fans. And, he had the letter to the statement to the fans after that last playoff game as well. So that's really cool to see Anzalone like mixing it up with the fans, seeing what the fan base wants. But yeah, count me in for Reader. Spenmo, is that your number one guy on the board right now? That's like a realistic possibility.
Other than Daniil Hunter, yeah, that is a guy I've loved the fit since we broke down our top 5 free agent defensive tackles. Like we said, the eaters who eat it for lunch. You put DJ Reader in between Hutch and Ali McNeil, and that frees up one-on-one opportunities for them. We saw DJ Reader affect Trey Hendrickson's production to an extreme level last year. I think you can do the same for Hutch. What do you feel, Doug?
Honestly, I'm just learning all this shit. I'm like a base, and it's like so hilarious because like day by day, I'm like learning everything about the draft and learning about these specific characters and football players that what they could bring to the team, and it's just like I'm learning as much information as soon as y'all spit it out your mouth. That's when I learn it. So
yeah.
Hell yeah.
DJ Reader update on the quad injuries too. The first one was his left quad. The second time around was his right quad. So two different ones.
It's big body bends, man. Those quads got to hold up on you. But I would love to see DJ Reader on the Detroit Lions for sure.
Steve Wild says Reader and Snead would be a success. I know a lot of people got the need for Snead. I just don't know if it's going to happen. I really don't. Like, I think today's a perfect example of, like, it's probably not going to. Brad's not one to make those big splash signings.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got that $45 million to work with, so he's saving it for something.
And before we go to break, before we let you get out of here, man, do you have anything you want to say to the people?
Honestly, I appreciate you guys letting me to come on. Right now, I'm working on getting my company back active with Fahrenheit 313.
Shout out.
Out down Illinois. Shop it. And Spencer, I know you like Jordans, bro. They got anything. What size you wear?
14.
Oh yeah, they definitely got your size.
Hell yeah.
Like anything under 300, like the new breads. Like I got these boys from there. Like
yeah.
Like I got the 51 gear on. It's coming soon. I got the out gear coming soon.
Hell yeah.
I got to get y'all sizes, and I got to get Nick's size.
Shout out.
I don't know if I'm gonna get Chris one. He a Pistons fan. He an active
crazy,
Pistons
man.
fan.
That's crazy, man. I'm out here putting you on camera. That's crazy.
Would you and Troy? How did you feel about the Troy Reaver thing?
We're gonna get into it later.
Yeah.
I get it. Like he sucks at his job, but I don't ever like when people get, treated like that. Like I understand he put himself in that position sitting in public, but I don't like when people get treated like that and just like told like you suck at your job and shit. Even if it is true, like that doesn't change anything. I still want to fire him at the end of the season.
Chris can relate.
I was about to say,
hell no.
Will Chris give his whole opinion? We'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Appreciate you coming through, Devin.
Absolutely, I appreciate you guys. Shout out.
Eazy, tell us about Swiss.
I'll tell you guys about Swiss. There's good news, there's bad news. Insurance rate across the board are rising in the state of Michigan. Make sure you contact your insurance agent today and call Mark if he can hook you up. That's Mark at Swiss Insurance. Hit him up right now. That's SwissINS.com and tell him the heavyweight sent you.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? Let me tell you about Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. Their food is amazing, and their locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. They got one in Warren that's like a mile and a half away from my house. It's great stuff. A perfect takeout option featuring hand-breaded fried chicken, New York pizza, fresh salads, sides, and more. Check out their full menu and find the closest Soroki's near you at Sorokis.com. That's SAROKIS.com. Soroki's and Woodward Sports. Now that's crispy.
Welcome to Woodward Heavyweights Live, WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy. That's my guy, Spin More Racks. We got young Chris on the TD booth, Nicholas Kohloff on the 1s and 2s. Just kind of talking everything, really. Detroit Lions free agency. Obviously, there's a whole situation going on with Troy Weaver during the weekend. A situation going on with Jalen Duren, too. Shout out to Troy Weaver for dying down the heat on him. Not much heat on him, but that happens. the Jalen Duren stuff.
That was nothing.
I liked how he just slapped him down like a little kid, though. That was kind of fucking awesome.
There's no heat. That was just
Did
a hard
fuck up
foul.
my parlay, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
That is the only. There's 2 pieces of my parlay that didn't hit. And you guys, if you guys watch the show regularly, we hit these Pistons parlays like crazy. We were nice with it over here. And obviously, Jalen Duren got kicked out early. Didn't fulfill his 12 boards that had him down for 10 points.
Maurice Hurst is re-signing with the Browns. 1-year deal worth
Makes
up to
sense.
$3.2 million. Mo Hurst, Michigan guy. Guy was talked of as a depth piece.
It was something I kind of wanted here. You guys remember we did the free agency tender, but then you kind of talked me out of it with the injury stuff. But again, if it's like a 1-year deal, cheap thing, I'm always down for it. But it makes sense he goes somewhere that's familiar with him because he does have that injury history. How about Jonah Jackson leaving us though? And how do you want to address that moving forward? You think the Detroit Lions should acquire a guy?
The Detroit Lions should draft a left guard and start him day 1. That's what it should be. You should use one of your first picks, the first 4 picks you got in the first 3 rounds, to grab a left guard that starts day 1. That's exactly what it should be. I've talked about Cooper Bebe a lot. I love Cooper Bebe, and you could get him in the 2nd or 3rd possibly round. That would be my ideal choice. But if you get Graham Barton in the 1st round, I'm not mad at it. If you get McKinstry or the dude from Frazier, if you get Frazier in the 1st round, I'm not mad at it. This is a piece that it's a plug and play spot at left guard, and I don't have the confidence of my other brother from another mother on the Detroit Lions, Colby Sorsdale, or Yodi filling that left guard spot on a Super Bowl run. So I think you go out, you get one high in the draft, and that's your guy for the next 4 to 5 years.
So I did a stream with Dose of Dion yesterday. We went live on his channel, shout out, and we kind of had this discussion. And it opened my eyes too, because I was totally down with like grabbing the rookie, plug and play, bam. But then we were talking, and this is a really complicated run scheme. Obviously, we had Colby Sorsdale, who moved from the tackle position to the guard position, also his rookie year, later round pick from William & Mary, jumping to the NFL. I don't know what the expectation there is to begin with, but he had trouble getting it down too. And he to the point where they just kind of like gave up on him in midseason unless they absolutely needed him.
Yeah.
That's where we saw like reps for the Detroit Lions. But I kind of almost want to grab a vet just to be safe and have a guy that has like the experience of like running all these different schemes. The wham blocks. I mean, obviously everyone polls, but we poll on passing plays. Like we do all kinds of crazy shit in this Ben Johnson scheme. It's specifically tailored to the offensive line. I mean, that's half the reason we had Ted Wynn on last week, because I love that article he wrote. He wanted to open my eyes to like the different like stuff they're doing at that offensive line. I just thought they're like, yo, they're out there killing it. No, they're doing all different kind of things. I just don't know if a rookie's going to be able to step in similar situation too. Like I don't know if you can depend on that. You know.
That's why I like Cooper Bebe for this position so much, is because Kansas State does a lot of those similar things. It's not as complex as a Ben Johnson run play as well, or obviously not as complex as Ben Johnson's run scheme. But they do a lot of pulling. They move him around a lot. They do a lot of wham blocks. They do blocks where he's like starts at his left guard position, or he starts at left tackle and then motions over to the other side.
Yeah.
He does a lot of things where they move him around the offensive line. So I think he would have an easier job picking up a complicated run scheme with a lot of moving parts in it than some of the other guys.
Steve Wild says, I signed Zettler for a year. That's the guy from the Baltimore Ravens. That's also the name that Dose of Dion brought up.
But even those guys, like, yeah, they're veterans in the NFL, but they're not veterans in Ben Johnson's offense.
Then that's very true, but at least they have like some experience in the NFL. I guess both, like one, just playing at the level at that speed, because that's something you hear from every rookie that jumps to the league is like, you know, the play speed is a lot different.
Yeah.
And then just two, I would actually, and I can't say this for certain, especially when it comes like the offensive line specifically, but a lot of the things I saw out of that Ravens offense when we played them last year was like kind of similar to what like Ben Johnson and kind of everyone does, like a lot of the motioning and stuff like that. Like they were doing a lot of that with the Ravens last year with Lamar Jackson. If Zettler, you know, coming from over there to here, I at least have the experience in doing these things and seeing these things, and at that level too, I would just feel more comfortable doing it. I just don't know how big of an investment Brad is willing to make at that point, because Zettler is probably at the top of the list when it comes to like signing some of these guards left in the market right now.
Yeah, I don't think you do it. I talked about it before. With the pieces you have on this offensive line that are there, that are established in Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell, and Graham Glasgow, they'll be able to mentor a young left guard on top of having the best offensive line coach in the NFL in Hank Fraley and one of the best run designers in the NFL in Ben Johnson, I have the utmost confidence that all of those minds together, on top of just being a football player in the guy, whoever they draft, he'll be ready to go and up to speed for the beginning of the season. I'm not worried about hiccups. Yeah, will there be some rookie mistakes? Yes, but that's at any position. You have the ability to make up for a couple rookie mistakes in the beginning of the season because the pieces you have surrounded that guy.
The Ronin 99, Evan Brown, waiting on our phone call. I like that one. And that's a guy who's literally been in the system. And I feel like he'd be pretty, fairly cheap, too.
I could see Evan Brown in a Glasgow-type role from last year. Kind of a death piece. We can move around left guard through right. So I like that in Evan Brown. But Eazy, I would definitely use one of these top 2 picks on a guard. Honestly, I mean, if he can bounce out to left tackle for Taylor Decker's maybe future departure, we have to now worry about. But I am using either pick 29 or 61 on an offensive lineman, no doubt about it. And I just got to trust Brad to pick the right guy, which I believe he will.
Yeah, I'm not.
Zadarius Smith re-signed with the Browns.
Yep,
2-year deal.
Oh, 2 year?
Yeah, up to $25 million.
Good for them. Sorry, I'm looking to see something too. I think. By the way, if you sign Zettler, I'm not opposed to still drafting that offensive lineman. I just don't know if it comes at 29, which I've obviously always kind of been like, hey, you can grab these guards late. I think especially in this draft, there's so many guys that it feels like that are able to play the offensive line position in multiple positions.
Yes.
Like when we do these breakdowns, how many guys have we told you, oh, they're versatile, they played all across the line? Like we have that right now in this draft class. I think there's multiple guys that could do that. I think you do both. I think you grab a Zettler because you want something for sure. And Brad Holmes pointed out how important in that he takes this offensive line. They know it's the bread and butter of everything they got going on. And that was in reference to the Frank Ragnow question at the time. But I think it applies to the guard position too. I think you grab someone that you know could play and fill in like day one and then still go and grab somebody. Does it end up being a first round? Probably not in that scenario just because you're not investing a first round pick to kind of sit there in a championship window. But then again, Brad does BPA, so if one of those top end guys do fall to us, he's going to take them. But I think you do a little mix of both. Chris?
Yeah, that's where I want to go with it, staying on that theme, but kind of just asking an important draft question with the first round pick being that extra 5th year that you get. Where does that kind of come into play? Because we see Brad is always leveraging every part of the salary cap he can. And just finding the nooks and crannies that make it work for him. So that 5th year, is it more valuable to have a young guard prospect on a 5-year contract or a cornerback or defensive edge? Like we're seeing what these edge rushers are going
these
for.
Guards are signing today. I mean, we had a guard sign $100 million deal today. That shit's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So that can be a factor. Like he is going to go BPA, but I do think that will also be a factor. Is that 5th year will be kind of could end up being a deal breaker split if he's splitting hairs between prospects.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't know, man. I truly feel like he probably goes BPA regardless of that 5th year. I mean that is something good to weigh out though, in my opinion, just because I don't know if you value the 5th year option on a guard as much as you do as a cornerback or something like that, But I mean, these guards are signing crazy deals, so maybe you do. I think he just goes best player regardless. My personal opinion. Anakin, I think is the name. You say that one. He says, "What is Brad's offensive line track record except for Sewell?" We got Sewell, and you got Sorsdale. I think that's it in terms of draft classes.
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure that is it. And again, he said this in the presser too. You can't really grade these draft classes until year 2, year 3. I'm not ready to grade Sorsdale and what that pick is. And by the way, it's also a 5th rounder from you know what I'm saying. So I'm not the expectations aren't here with it anyway. So, but I mean, solid track record. Sewell's a generational guy. Everyone knew that coming into the draft too. But I mean, he had the wherewithal to take him.
Yeah.
But I'm probably going Evan Brown. I'm seeing a lot of Evan Brown comments in the Woodward Sports chat. And I'm on.
I would not be mad if they brought back Evan Brown. Like you said, that is a guy who is familiar with the system. He's played in Ben Johnson's scheme before. He is another guy, a versatile guy. He can play center if you need him to play center. He can move around. So I'm not mad at all if they would go out and give Evan Brown a contract. But I still think you draft an interior guy as well.
A couple guys still out there too. Damian Lewis from Seattle. He's out there. Obviously, we brought up Zeitler with the Ravens. I don't know if Dalton Risner signed anywhere. I don't know if he did off the top of my head. But Evan Brown probably be the guy I'm looking for. Just because of the familiarity with the offense and its complexity. Is that right?
Complexity.
Complexity.
Yes.
Are you guys surprised a guy like Jonah Jackson got $17 million a year? And does that kind of just talk about, I mean, we just talked about all these guards getting fat contracts. Does that talk about maybe the switch and how the position is viewed around the NFL?
For us, it should be viewed high just because when JG was on that turnover streak he went on there in the middle of the season, it was when we were missing pieces of that interior offensive line. I remember that being like some of the, I call them excuses. Maybe I'll say it's fair to you guys now because the season's over. The hostility's down a little bit. But no, I mean, the games that JG shit the bed, he was missing his interior guys. He didn't have that familiarity with there. So, like, yeah, I think it's, for us specifically, it's important. And I think there's probably a piece they definitely grab it for HC. And I guess my question to you, Spenny, because I know Nick and I discussed it. Would you be cool if they still drafted that guard that's going to sit there in the first round if they signed a guy that's going to start day one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I am too, just because of Brad.
Yeah.
And I probably won't actually, if I'm being honest. Like, when it actually happens, I'll probably be like, what's his name was there? You know, I'll be freaking out about something like that. But
no, it's I'll never question another Brad Holmes draft pick. It's he gets his guy he wants, and more often than not, that guy turns into a stud.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still waiting on some Detroit Lions news. Oh. A reunion with Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn. Hold on. Breaking news.
Nothing.
Marcus Davenport.
Did you get got?
No, I didn't. It's a Detroit Lions signing. The Lions have agreed to terms with defensive end Marcus Davenport on a one-year deal, sources tell Rap Sheet. Following 1 year with the Vikings, former first-round pick of the Saints. Who the fuck is that guy? We'll have reactions and
I know all about
that when we get back.
7 combined tackles last year.
Sick. That's
2 sacks.
Depth.
They said they're getting depth. All right, guys. Let's go to a break. Regroup on that one.
His best year was in 2021. He had 9 sacks in 2021. Last year, in 3 started games, he had 2 sacks. Four games played.
Former 14th overall draft pick in the 2018 draft.
All right, let me tell you about Jack Labrador. Football season is officially over, and spring training is right around the corner. However, Jack Labrador is 24/7, 365 days a year. Learn how to play on your phone right now with jacklabrador.gg. 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. And remember that once you go Jack, you never go back. Go to jacklabrador.gg now and join in on the fun.
Toughest sports network in Detroit. But we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all of Detroit sports. Sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Welcome to Word Heavyweights Live, WoodwardSports.com.
Welcome you.
Eazy, Spenny, Chris, Nick. Marcus Davenport just signed to the Detroit Lions on a 1-year deal, former first-round pick of the Saints.
So I got a little breakdown here. It's
2 sacks in 4 games last year. That's
from Frosty Talks FB on Twitter. So Davenport, 6'6", 265 pounds. He's a first-round pick out of UTSA to New Orleans in 2018. Extremely injury-prone. He has only played 4 games in 2023 and has played less than 14 games in 5 out of 6 years. On the field, he has a 17.3% pass rush win rate, which is 11th amongst defensive ends.
Yeah.
So he's a boomer bust guy. If he can stay healthy, he can get you sacks, but he hasn't proven that he can stay healthy. I know Nick hates this.
5 off-season surgeries in 2022.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
3 on his shoulder, 2 on his hand. Then he went to endure a campaign where he just registered just a half a sack. This is a Brad Holmes signing. I mean, we just talked about it literally before break. We talked about like bringing back DJ, not bringing back DJ Reader, but acquiring DJ Reader after his torn quad. This is what they do. They buy low with high upside. He plays penny stocks. That's a Brad Holmes thing. He loves those penny stocks. I mean, look, I'll be optimistic about it. I'll take the optimistic approach, but I'll be damn sure to let you know I want more. Yeah. We are contending. We're in a Super Bowl window. We need something to rely on. I do like the depth. Don't get me wrong, and especially a guy like this, where like again, and just four games of action to have 2 sacks, that's actually pretty fucking nice. I'm being honest with you. Like when you look at the numbers, like the 1 year, 2, we had the 9 sacks. I think it was. You said.
Yeah.
9 sacks in what?
11 games.
11 games. That's phenomenal. Like the production's there if he gets healthy. But let's get some pieces to rely on. I mean, like I think they want depth because they keep acquiring guys with injuries. Like, is that why they value the depth so much? Because they know these guys are going to get hurt. Like, what's going on?
I don't know. That's like you said. This isn't going to stop you from signing anybody else. This is a depth move. But Jesus, man, I need to see some more. I agree. You look at the positive of this is if it works out, it'll be great because if he can stay healthy, he can win on the defensive line. But he hasn't proven that he can stay healthy.
How tall was he, you said?
6'6".
Damn. That's a big boy. You think he starts?
I mean, if he's healthy, probably.
Yeah, I don't think it stops anything. I still think you go out there and grab other pieces. I'm putting the phone number in the Woodward Sports chat, too, if you guys want to call in, because I know there's a lot of frustrations out there with Brad Holmes' free agency so far. But, again, this is kind of what he told you he's going to do. Like, the key word we just used defining the Marcus Davenport signing is depth. Depth. Key word they use in the offseason meetings, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Depth. Not splash free agent signings. He told you he wants to win in December, which I hope he meant January and February when he said that. But he doesn't care to win the headlines in March. This one's not winning headlines. Like, can I be honest with you guys? Let's all be honest real quick. Raise your hand if you knew who Marcus Davenport was before the signing just now.
I did know who he was just because the draft in 2018.
Yeah.
No clue.
You said he had 5 off-season surgeries in 2022?
Yes. 3 on his shoulder and 2 on his hand.
Damn.
Brad loves to bring in injured players. We got burned last year on Emmanuel Mosley. Honestly, we cannot let this be the only defensive end that we bring in, just point blank. That cannot be an option here.
Yeah. I hope at the very least last year's Emmanuel Mosley, and I apologize, Chris, but I hope that like Emmanuel Mosley's like, I guess the experience taught him that, hey, you can grab these guys with these high upside, but you can't depend on it, right? So like still grab something else because you went on him to be like your CB1, and then it didn't end up happening because of the injury. So like you have to grab something else. That's how I know they're going to grab something else. And now, honestly, if I could be, I guess, a little ballsy with it, a defensive end specific.
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with it, Eazy, is that you hope he learned last year's lesson because you can make an outside argument that Emmanuel Mosley's injury cost the Lions a Super Bowl appearance, maybe even a Super Bowl last year. Because if that secondary was slightly better than it was, then you're talking about a team that could have easily made it to the Super Bowl. So I hope he learned his lesson, but it seems like this is who he is, and you're just hoping that you don't get burnt one year. And the odds are that there's going to be that year that players are healthy, right? Like Swift, right? Swift was let go because for years he wasn't able to stay healthy. Last year he was healthy and got a bag. Like Brad Holmes is taking a calculated approach, and I understand it, and I hope that there's more in play, but this is something that's dangerous.
It's dangerous when like you're right there, and then like following this year, and it depends what's going on with Hendon Hooker, and I don't believe. I think the Jared Goff re-sign is probably going to happen next year, but it's definitely dangerous when like following this is like a lot of money's going to start coming out of your pockets. You're going to pay Jared Goff. He's not keeping. Obviously, Amon-Ra Brown's not going to do special right now. At that point, we have 1-2 this week's third year, next year fourth. Probably a little bit of waiting period on A. Washington, but then you got Phineas too. Like things are going to start switching up right now, and I just feel like we should capitalize and have this window right now.
Yeah.
Especially from a guy that is coming from somewhere where like. They did that.
And it worked.
And it worked, right? And I know he was there for the Super Bowl when they actually captured the Super Bowl, but he knows damn well they're in the running. He visited the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. at that position when they went all in within that little bit of window. We got to do that. We got to do the same, man. It's going to happen.
You got to do the same. We've talked about this for a while, and people got mad at us for going a little overboard. But this is your window. This is your window, and you have an opportunity. You were 2 players away, a player maybe even away from making the Super Bowl last year. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, this isn't the end of the world. I highly believe that they are still going to get more in free agency. I would be extremely upset if this was just their only move. They're going to get somebody else in free agency, so I'm not freaking out about this just yet. This is a depth move. This is a piece you bring in and you throw out there. This is your Charles Harris, your Romeo Okwara, your Julian Okwara. All those guys that you lost, this is another piece to kind of throw in there. So I'm not too mad about it.
We got a caller, Nick?
Yeah. We got Eduardo in Orlando trying to talk everybody off the edge. Eduardo, you're live.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, Eduardo,
yes, sir.
how you doing, brother?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yo, for Chris, real quick. Lions lost the Super Bowl, or like any chance at the Super Bowl when Brad decided not to put anybody next to Hutch last season. All right? And I am just so tired of us consistently having the worst defense in our division. Okay? Today, the Packers made their defense better, the Bears made their defense better, and the Vikings made their defense better. And here we are with just Hutch. That's literally all we have on our defense is Hutch, right? He's like our star, right? Why can it hasn't happened yet, but what are we going to do to not have it be to where we have to rely on a rookie cornerback and a rookie defensive end to be our 2 missing links? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, knowing this coaching staff, the rookie cornerback, he's not going to be a no wide receiver 1 first, second, third game of the season. They're still going to roll with Sutton on the main receiver. You know what I mean? So that's my issue is like, at the very least, you should have targeted these above average guys who can win their one-on-ones. That's all we wanted last year. Can somebody please beat a tackle, a guard? And nobody could. And currently right now, we still just have Hutch. Anyways, that is all. I hope you guys have a great day.
Appreciate you calling in, Eduardo. And he's right. You know, you did need another defensive lineman. To be fair, this guy can win one-on-ones if he's on the field. If he's on the field, if he's playing, he's healthy, he can win one-on-ones for you. So we'll see. Again, I would be extremely disappointed if they're done in free agency after this move. They're not done. They're going to make more moves.
Do you still have Orlando on the line too or no? Let's see what Orlando's got to say. By the way, Eduardo, I'm with you. I think you got to pair him with somebody, man. Liam was there, and you hope Liam could be elite at some point. But if it's not the case, bro, come on.
I got Devin real quick. He's talking about the signing. Devin, you're live.
Yo, man, I'm trying to calm everybody off the edge. I know I was just there, but I knew this was going to end up blowing over. I know especially tomorrow with Flannel Sam it's going to blow over. But everybody just stay calm, honestly. He said this. He said March.
Breaking news.
He said these March headlines.
Orlando, hold on 1 sec. I flirted with it last week. I've been flirting with it the past 2 weeks. And Orlando, we'll get your exact, immediate reaction to it. Detroit Lions have acquired Carlton Davis from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a starting cornerback. That's a CB1, Super Bowl winner. Orlando, speak on that real quick, and then we gotta react to this, man.
Oh my God, let's go! See why I said everybody stay fucking calm. Like I said, I spoke it into existence. I'm baby Neil Rule out here. But no,
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah, we lost him.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry about that, Orlando. Hey, I'll read your comments on Woodward Sports Chat, man. Hey, do we go to break? We got to go break right now.
No, we don't.
You want to go over?
Yeah, we'll go over.
We're going over?
We're going over.
I feel like we should take,
We acquired him via trade, you said, right?
Yes.
Let's just give everybody another
For
summary.
Tom Pelissero trade, the Detroit Lions are acquiring cornerback Carlton Davis from the Bucs per source.
What do you think the cost is?
We'll see what they gave up, but it's not going to be the first-round pick. I can tell you that right now.
I'm dying because obviously we had a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan and a big PFF guy. He's in the know, right? He's on the NFL Network. Shout out to Trevor Sicklemer for coming on, but he's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. So when I asked him the Carlton Davis question, I felt like he was a little guarded from no, man, we're still contending, dude. What do you think?
Didn't he literally say, "I hope not"?
Yeah. He was literally paused for me. He's like, I don't know, man. Boom, it happened.
This is Carlton Davis is a guy who in 75 career games has had 73 pass breakups. Like, he gets his hand on the ball. And this is your cornerback one. This is a guy that you'll put on the outside. He's 6'1", 206. He's a big physical guy. He can play outside. He can play in man coverage. This is what we needed. This is what we needed. You got your cornerback one now. Now we're not going to be seeing Kendall Vildor in the NFC Championship game. Now we're not going to be seeing those guys out there with the fate of the Super Bowl on the line. You have your quarterback one to go on the other side of Cam Sutton, and it's a great move by Brad Holmes.
Now, I think what we're really looking forward to see is like what was given up in the trade. That's what I'm curious about.
Yes.
I don't think it probably is. I don't think it was a first rounder.
No, not a chance.
I'm not of the belief of that. Would you be pissed off if it was?
No.
Can I tell you something else? And I'm not this guy. You guys, if you watch this show, you know damn well I'm not this guy. I may go there for certain stats because of targets and receptions and everything else like that. But PFF, kind of shitting on the guy Carlton Davis. He has a 58 overall grade and a 57.5 coverage grade for Carlton Davis. He was targeted 79 times last year and allowed 51 receptions. That's tied 22nd in the league. Reaction to that, Nick? Spenny.
Well, per Pro Football Reference, he was targeted 83 times and only allowed 51 receptions at 61% completion percentage for 732 yards and 4 touchdowns. So I'm not sure if PFF...
We know they always differ. I mean, they do the sacks different too.
Whoever's got it right. But this is a guy who makes plays, man. He makes plays. He's better than anything you have. By far. By a landslide.
Well, I guess he had 2 interceptions last year.
Yeah.
Does the amount of games missed concern you guys at all? Does he has missed games throughout his whole entire career.
Yeah.
Does that concern you at all, fellas?
Yes. Yes, it does. But again, I think the same way I spoke on the guard position, like, again, you acquire someone and then you still go and draft somebody as well. That's probably what we're going to do. I still feel like they're going to sign somebody as well. I'm looking at the games where he missed like 5 of them last year, 4 of them the year before, 6 the year before that, 3 the year before that, 3 before the year before that, 3 before the year before that. We'll see. I mean, we have a CB1. I guess that's the important piece. How many PBUs did he have last year, Spenny?
He had 7 passes defended over 12 regular season games and 2 in the playoffs. So 9.
I know he's highly regarded. I know he's a guy a lot of people spoke on. Chris?
Yeah, so I'm looking at it. So $14.5 million, final year of his deal. Are you expecting an extension coming with this, or do you think this is a rental and Brad is just giving up a cheap pick?
I think it's a little bit more of a rental and a cheap pick. I think if he proves himself, Brad's not giving up money, man. He's just not, right? So, like, if he proves himself worthy of that extra money, then he probably gets re-signed on the line. But I think he has to prove it first to Brad Holmes and them. Unless the reason why he's getting traded partly is because he wants a new deal. I don't remember hearing that. When I heard this being a possible trade candidate, is more so that the Buccaneers can, like, keep their book straight.
Yeah, just cutting costs.
Exactly, cutting costs on their end. So I think and I think that's a smart way to play it too. I like, why bring him in here, especially with the injury history? You know, trade. You give up the assets to get him, and then give him money right away. I'm not down with that. If Brad does decide to do that, obviously you guys know, everyone at this point shouldn't really question too many things that Brad's doing these days. I wouldn't be opposed to something like that, but I don't think that's the move. I think you let him play out this year and then kind of figure it out from then. Because you obviously could do the same situation where you could tag a guy, transition tag or franchise tag, or just re-up him at that point. You have first dibs heading into free agency next year. Is that his deal? Is he free agent next year?
They said, this is the final year of his deal, $14.5 million.
Yeah, I think you play it out that way. Especially, too, if you're looking at this as like a championship window type acquisition, too.
So if it's a rental, is that then like a 5th? Or 4th?
Probably.
We'll see.
We have 2 third-round picks.
We do have 2 third-round picks.
And he was kind of highly thought of, at least in league circles. Yeah, last year. I'm here for it. I'm really not tripping. Let's take that break. Let's gather ourselves. Read a couple comments from the Woodward Sports Chat, too. Speedy, tell us about Big Boy first.
Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy. Catch it while you can. Dive into the fish and chips, their new Parmesan crusted cod, perfectly fried clam strip, platter, or delicious new fish sandwich. A Big Boy must try the new mango iced tea, the ultimate compliment to their popcorn shrimp, shrimp Alfredo, or shrimp stir fry. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy, and they have the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet on Fridays. Get all of that at Seafood Fest at your local Big Boy.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for 30-plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same-day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
What up? Welcome to World Heavyweights. If you guys missed, the Detroit Lions have traded. They acquired. We don't know what they gave up yet. They acquired Carlton Davis III from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you guys remember Samir from the Loose Cannons podcast, Tampa Bay Buccaneers podcast, we linked up with him before the playoff game. I'm trying to get Samir back on or Trevor Sikkema just so we could get, perspective of what type of player he is. He was Super Bowl champion in 2020, 4 interceptions for him. Only won the 2 years following that one, and then 2 of them last year. 9 pass deflections last year, according to Pro Football Reference. 12 and 22, and 11 and 21. So he does get his hands on quite a few balls. And how old is he now? He is 27 years old. 6'1", 206. I mean, that's the type of cornerback I like.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie to you. And he's only 27 years old. That's huge. I'm in love with it. I'm not in love with what I'm telling you guys. It's a home run or slam dunk pick, but like, what do we all want? A CB1, and we got one.
Yep.
And we got one that's played in championship level football. Give it to me. Pause.
Hey, yo. Yeah, this is what you were asking for. This is not a depth piece. This is a guy who you're going to start every week. This is a guy who's going to line up against probably the best receiver on the field every week. So, is it the L'Jarius Sneed move? No, but it's going to cost you a lot less. So I'm excited for that, and I still don't think they're done. I still think they get somebody on that defensive line.
And they still have a shit ton of cap space to work with, too. So if you're in this situation where you got your CB1 that a lot of people were freaking out over, you have your cap. Again, I'm talking about in the Super Bowl window, you still could make that Danielle Hunter thing happen. Like that's still available to you, which is kind of crazy. If you truly look at this as a Super Bowl run, and obviously, again, he says he addresses needs via free agency. Well, they just signed a defensive end in Marcus Davenport. That just happened. So, obviously, defensive end is maybe something they perceive as a need. Is Danielle Hunter? I mean, I don't know. Am I getting crazy? Am I getting carried away, Nick?
I mean, you know me. I want Hunter, and I want Hunter bad. Honestly, he fits perfectly with Hutch. Honestly, it would take this defense to a whole nother level to add with this guy Carlton Davis. But another guy, I mean, I mentioned him earlier, Armstead in the middle to pair with Aleem is a name that I think would be a big addition to this team if the numbers make sense with it, because he has played in the playoffs in massive games with the San Francisco 49ers. So this guy in Tampa who's a Super Bowl champion, pairing that with more playoff experience. Yeah,
real quick, too, update on the compensation for the trade. The Detroit Lions are sitting the second and the third round pick, so that would mean the Vikings pick, plus a 2024 6th-round pick and a 2025 6th-round pick. So a third and 2 6 for Carlton Davis, who, again, is a cornerback 1 in the National Football League. How you feel about the compensation, Spenny?
It's the Vikings pick or our pick?
So it says the second of their third-round picks.
So the Lions was.
Yeah, so the back end of the third round.
The back end of the third round.
Which is beneficial because
Yeah,
it's
I'm
like
cool.
a 20-point
I'm cool with that.
Essentially a 4th-round pick.
Yeah, 2 6-round picks.
Yeah, I don't really know how to perceive that.
This is
the second acquisition or second? Yeah.
The second, if it's the second of the...
And this is second and third round, which would be ours pick.
Yeah, that would be our pick. And this is per PFF Detroit Lions. Carlton Davis III from Week 12 onwards in 2023. 247 coverage snaps, 46 targets, only 26 receptions allowed for 330 yards, 2 interceptions, 8 forced incompletions, and a 66.2 passer rating allowed when targeted. Those are elite numbers. And he did that from Week 12 onwards in 2023.
I'm here for it.
So if that's the guy you got, you just got a fantastic quarterback.
Still trying to connect with a few guys. Who we got?
Yeah, this is actually from Adam Scheffner. We are trading just our 2024 third-round pick, and we receive cornerback Carlton Davis, Buccaneers 2024 sixth-round pick, and 2025 sixth-round pick. So we are actually acquiring 2 sixth-rounders in 24 and 25 and giving up our third-rounder.
What a get. So we got 2 sixth-round picks along with him? Did I hear that correctly?
Massive.
Per Adam Schefter, Woodward Sports just put it out. Lions receive Carlton Davis, 2024 and 2025 sixth-round picks, and the Bucs get the 2024 third round. That's a great trade.
Love that.
That is a great trade.
A+.
We know Brad loves to cook in those late rounds too. So this is big. I was a little bit not skeptical, but trading 2 sixth-rounders with a third-rounder.
You just got a cornerback 1 for a third-round pick and 2 sixth-round picks on top of it, which become depth guys on this team, which become guys like Malcolm Rodriguez and James Houston on this team. Both of those guys, 6th-round picks. So this is an amazing trade by Brad Holmes. And I gave you the numbers at the end of the year, what he did. These are elite level numbers. If this is the guy you're getting from Week 12 onwards in 2023, out of 46 targets, only 26 receptions allowed for 330 yards. Since Week 12, 2 interceptions, 8 forced incompletions, a 66.2 passer rating allowed when targeted. Those are elite numbers on the outside. If you get that from him all year, that's like Pro Bowl level cornerback play, all pro level cornerback play. If he could do that for an entire season, we'll see what happens. But this is a great trade by Brad Holmes.
I'm here for it. I'm still reading up on him, just I guess as a player. But the contract makes sense. The move makes sense. I don't know what else you want. I have nothing bad to say about this.
Yeah.
I have no critiques. And by the way, those 6th-round picks that Spenny was referring to, like those becomes those contracts that you need when you're paying Jared. If you go forward and pay Jared Goff that $50 million that he may require, or that $30 million that Amon-Ra may require, or the $27 million, or probably $30 million at this point, if guards are getting $27 million, that Penei Sewell's going to require. Yeah. Those 2 6th-round picks, those type of contracts you need. And by the way, those 6th-round picks, those type of picks that Brad Holmes hits on. Mm-hmm. It's a match made in heaven. I don't know how we got the 6th-round picks out of it. I mean, kudos to Brad for doing that. This is probably the best trade he's made so far as Detroit Lions GM.
I think,
outside of obviously Jared Goff.
I think that kind of symbolizes that he was playing the game. Now, whether this ends up being the case or not, that it's a rental. I think that it kind of explains getting the 2 6th-round picks, which Brad Holmes, being Brad Holmes, could find a way to just spin that next offseason, sign this guy to a team favorable contract going forward. But I think acquiring the 2 6th-round picks makes it look like, you're right, Eazy, they were just trying to get off the money. And Brad Holmes is saying, "Hey, this is a rental, and you're not going to get a better pick than a 3rd-round pick for a rental."
And Steve Wildes makes a good point. $14.5 million is a big cap hit. Should extend him. You extend him for a year or 2 to cut that cap hit down, and so you can make some more moves.
That's great.
Wouldn't mind that either.
14. I ain't even worried about no 14 million.
Jonah just got 17.
Jonah
Jackson.
This is a great trade by Brad Holmes, man. You got a guy that I feel comfortable with lining up against top receivers in this league.
Now that I'm thinking about it, like the extension conversation, but I'm sorry, I'm just sending a phone number to Samir, I apologize. The 2 6th-round picks probably come because he doesn't know if he's going to resign him.
Yeah.
And because of the injuries. It's like, hey, this guy's hurt a lot.
100%.
I don't know if I'm going to like renew this guy. I need a little something extra on top, a little extra cheese. And he just got that. I mean, listen, that's 100%. What you do. That's what you do. Fuck you, Chris. No one cares. Why don't you go tweet about some rap no one cares about? I'm playing. That's too mean. I'm just giving you shit for giving me shit. A couple comments in Woodward Sports chat. Steve Wildes, you don't know ball, says Danny G. Steve Wildes says he's a CB2. He's CB1, guys.
Yeah.
This is not a CB2. Davis is a good value CB2, says less fun. Where is the CB2 stuff coming from? This guy won a Super Bowl. This guy is regarded as a CB1 across the league. This is like, where's this stuff coming from?
I don't know.
I'm trying to get Sammer on to get confirmation on that.
This is an amazing trade for Brad Holmes. This is an amazing trade for Brad Holmes. I'm extremely happy with that return. And like I said, I still don't think they're done. I still don't think he's done. I think he's going to go out there and he's going to get an interior defensive lineman as well. Whether it be if they get, oh my God, if they get DJ Reader.
Chris?
Okay, so does this and acquiring the 2 6-round picks and trading the third, where does that leave you with the draft? I know we're caught in free agency right now, but do you think that makes it more or less likely to move up either in the first round or take those 6-round picks and move up a little bit later in the draft? Like, how do you think the pick exchange of this trade plays out with the draft?
I think
said Spencer.
What do you mean pick exchange?
No, I think honestly, Chris, if you're asking right, I still think if Brad Holmes falls in love with a guy in the first round, he will trade that first third rounder and move up and go get him. I think Brad Holmes will still be extremely aggressive. Spenmo?
Yeah, Brad Holmes is still going to be Brad Holmes. He's going to do what he needs to do to get his guys. That doesn't change. So we'll see what he does in the first round. But
working on getting Sammer on so we get a perspective of a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Well, not even just a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, but a guy that actually covers the team pretty close with their GM. So he probably has a little perspective of like why the move was made. Because with them re-signing Baker and re-signing Evans, they're obviously in a competition window themselves. So to depart with a guy like that, who is in my mind viewed as a CB1, what's the shake? You know what I'm saying? Is it the injuries? I mean that's probably the answer to me. That would make sense.
Probably the cap hit and the injuries.
Awuzie from the Bengals just signed with the Titans, by the way, too. I don't think we're quite any guy like that. Maybe I can still see a Kendall Fuller though. I'm not closing the door on that. But actually, let's do some math on the deal he just got. $36 million for 3 years. He's
12
28.
apiece.
Yeah. These cornerbacks looking pretty affordable. I'm just saying. You got him. We got Sammer.
Yeah. Let me put him on 3 cam. We are good to go.
Let's go. So we have Sammer from the Loose Cans podcast covering the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Finally got V-Mix to work. Shout out to Sammer for being patient with it. What up, though, man? And thank you for coming on last minute.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, Carlton Davis, Detroit Lion. Who is this guy?
Listen, we kind of predicted this move towards the end of last season and going into the off season. It was one of those things where the Bucs paid him pretty good money a few years ago when he was going to become a free agent. He ended up testing the market, came back, signed a deal, stayed with the Bucs, and they kind of ran it back, when they had Tom Brady. But the money they were paying him and the fact that he just couldn't stay consistently healthy, couldn't consistently produce, even though he is a very good cover corner, he doesn't get his hands on a lot of balls. We're huge fans of getting hands on balls, on the Loose Cans podcast.
Shout out.
But at the end of the day, it made sense to be able to move on from that contract knowing you're not going to re-sign him and get something back for him without it taking a massive cap hit because they had flexibility in that year. If you compared him to Jamel Dean would have ended up, if they traded him, they would have taken a bigger cap hit. They weren't interested in that. And I still think they also believe that Jamel Dean is maybe the more talented guy in terms of the potential and the ability to make plays. His athleticism is through the roof. He's so long and lanky and fast and has makeup speed. He drives you a little nuts as a Bucs fan watching him not get his head around for the ball sometimes. But at the end of the day, we kind of thought if there was going to be a guy moved on this defense from this team, it made sense it would be Carlton Davis. It gives them a little bit more flexibility on the salary cap side of things. And now it makes it a wide open, best player available at number 26 now heading into the draft for the Bucs. But the Lions got a decent player. I will say, you guys got a decent player, but consistency when it comes to health and consistency when it comes to getting his hands on the balls and creating plays that actually matter, that's kind of been the pitfall for him.
CB1, CB2, what do you look at him in that regards?
He was a CB1 here for us. Again, he didn't produce the numbers that matched the numbers on his paycheck. That's at the end of the day, that's what it was. And he just couldn't stay healthy. It's really hard to pay guys that can't consistently play at least 13 games a year for you, right? And that's before the additional 17th game. So at the end of the day, I do think he has cornerback one type of play. It's just I'm not familiar with the Lions defense or the secondary right now. I don't know.
It's not
I'm trying
great.
to keep up with all this free agency stuff. So
Yeah.
Do you guys have a CB1 right now on the roster?
Nope, not at all.
He would step in and he'd immediately be the dog. He's got a really like chip on the shoulder type of approach. When he came to the Bucs as a rookie, he struggled. A lot of fans wanted to label him a bust. He was playing with a Mike Smith defense, and he was not putting in situations that allowed him to play to his potential. And so what happened is, he's forced to play zone coverage, and he's more of a man press type of corner, and he plays really well in that situation. And that, he kind of had a little bit of a comeback story with the Bucs. And once he finally got to the point where they're like, okay, we've got him in the right position, Todd Bowles changed his career, honestly, trajectory-wise. He ends up getting paid. And again, the same things that worried them initially with him carried on throughout this whole thing, and that ended up being his ability to stay healthy, his ability to make plays when it mattered. And, it's hard to pay a guy that doesn't get 2 interceptions, 1 interception a season. It's pretty low for a cornerback, honestly. But in your scenario, he's cornerback 1 easily, and he does fit the Detroit grit mentality and what you guys got going up there with Dan Campbell for sure.
Yeah, and if you look at his stats from last year down the stretch for the Bucs, after week 12 and beyond, he only allowed 26 targets on 26 completions on 46 attempts. He had 2 interceptions, like literally both in that stretch, 8 forced incompletions, only a 66.2 passer rating when targeted. What clicked for him in the end of the year last year when he really started playing his best ball of the season?
Honestly, so he wasn't very healthy after, I believe, the first game of the season. The second game of the season, he got injured. He kind of had to work his way back in. He missed a few games. But then when he got back, he had a game against the Houston Texans where he was absolutely embarrassed. I mean, he looked like he'd never played ball in his entire life. He ended up giving up the entire game. Most of not giving up isn't quitting, but giving up the game in terms of what he allowed guys to do when he was covering them or not covering them in this case. And I think after that, he kind of looked in the mirror, was very embarrassed. He owned his performance. He didn't have to speak to the media after the game, and he chose to speak to them. He took it on the chin like a champ. And I think from that point forward, he just, kind of hunkered down and just kind of focused on his fundamentals. But still the same types of things have kind of plagued him throughout. And that's injuries and consistencies. There's still moments where you don't know what he's doing and why he's doing it. But then other times you see him go up against a guy like, Jamar Chase 2 seasons ago and lock him down. He's locked down the likes of the guy who used to play for the Packers. He's now a wide receiver for the Raiders. Devontae Adams. Yeah. We put him on Mike Thomas. He named him Slant Boy. I mean, he's had moments where he is a lockdown corner. And Jamar Chase even said last season, the best corner I've ever played against has been Carlton Davis. And I think that went to his head following that statement. Same exact week, Houston Texans threw like 1,000 touchdowns against him. So, it's one of those things where I wonder if his focus is there. I wonder if getting paid took a little bit of that chip off of his shoulder. Being traded is definitely going to bring some of that back. The disrespect factor. He definitely operates off of that kind of stuff. So I think if you can motivate him, give him that motivation, give him something to chase, and I think you have a good player. Will it translate to 5-6 interceptions every year and massive breakups and stuff like that? I don't know. It hasn't really done that here as a Buck, but he has so much potential that it's a little bit, frustrating watching him because I do think he is cornerback 1, just doesn't have the stats that match that all the time, which is frustrating.
Yeah, I'm looking. He did play Bryce Young twice within that stretch. Bryce Young and my man in Atlanta too, Desmond Ridder.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of fugazi there when you look at the stats there towards the end of the season, right? But Jamel Dean, him and Jamel Dean are kind of like the same. It's weird. But what frustrates Bucs fans watching them is that if one guy is healthy, the other guy's not. And if the other guy's finally healthy, the first guy's not. They never got to play at their strength with those two guys because they just couldn't stay healthy. And I know some people say that's luck and sometimes that turns around. But most of the time, that's just how it works. You can't stay healthy. It plagues you and it follows you, and it usually doesn't go away. Sometimes it follows you from college all the way through. So it's, I think you guys got a good one. I think it's a nice trade for both sides involved. It is what it is for the Bucs fans who want him back, but I don't see a lot of fans complaining, and I definitely see how it fits in with you guys for what you guys need to get done.
Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time to join us last minute like that. Give us a little bit of a breakdown on Carlton Davis. I see Brian Burns leaving your guys' division just now, too. He's headed to New York. I guess anything you want to plug or anything you got going on tonight you want people to tap into?
We're not on tonight. We've been on the last couple.
I was actually listening yesterday.
Days. Yeah, we had the Mike Evans news, and then we ended the week with the Baker Mayfield news. So we're pretty pumped. And those of you who do want to tune in, it's youtube.com/@LooseCannonsPodcast. It's myself, and shout out to my co-host Stank and Poppy Latte. Not sure if they're watching or not. This was last minute. I jumped on here.
I appreciate you,
as
man.
you can tell,
Thank
I'm
you.
at home doing this. So yeah, dude. Anytime. I love hanging out with you guys. The off season's gonna get boring eventually, so we need to come on here and just screw around a little bit, right?
For sure.
Yes,
and I
absolutely.
did see there was some breaking news earlier today that Stank did get a contract extension.
re-up.
There are some fans out there saying that you guys overpaid for him a little bit. Would you like to make comments on the compensation?
Listen, I like to say a good deal is when both sides lose a little bit. And initially, we weren't all on board giving him the Werthers. But at the end of the day, it meant we could keep it for another 11 months. We said, you know what? Screw it. Throw in the candy. Let's keep him going. We already gave him the Blockbuster video membership. I mean, might as well just give him the candy to go with it. And now we've got him for another 11 months. Not sure how that's going to translate in terms of performance on the field or behind the camera, but we're going to find out.
I think it's a boomer bust sign. I like it. You know, when he's on for sure. So
They just re-up Poppy
I would
too.
consider it. Yeah, I would consider it a tier 12 type signing for sure. He's definitely not the franchise quarterback or anything like that. He's like a rotational long snapper. You know,
There
the
we
guy
go.
that's sometimes it's like, hey, you know what? We're gonna give Jim the week off. We're gonna have you long snap this week. He's like, well, okay, cool. Yeah, so you can play him twice a year, so he gets his compensation, he gets his insurance, all that, and he gets his pension at the end of the day, right? So that's all that matters.
Jim's got a bar mitzvah. You're in.
yeah, exactly. Jim's wife's still in the hospital with the newborn. You know, we need you to snap, man.
Hey, actually, I do have one real quick question actually before I let you go, just because we also acquired Marcus Davenport via free agency, former Saint. I know it's a division rival of yours. Any familiarity with him? Any expectation? I know another injured guy too, but was he a dog the few times you got to see him, or?
So I was really high on him before he got drafted. I wanted the Bucs to grab him. I thought he had a good motor. I thought he could translate and maybe be one of those guys that you don't see kind of like floating on everybody's mock drafts, and he was kind of under the radar. Gets to the Saints, inconsistent, up and down. Had a couple good plays, moments here, against the Bucs in my memory. But again, he was up and down, lots of injuries. If he was special, I feel like they would have moved on from Cam Jordan at some point and let him be the heir apparent, but that didn't work out. He was quickly moved on, and I think he played for the Vikings last season. I don't remember. The Vikings, yeah. So, again, up and down, rotational guy at best. Maybe another change of scenery might help him. He has all the tools. I don't know what's left in terms of the motivation and, being able to get that chip on your shoulder again all, years later. But I liked him coming out of college. Didn't translate when he got to the Saints, unfortunately. But, hey, listen, not a lot of things work out when you're in New Orleans. It's trash. It's pretty shitty down there, okay?
Sammer, man, I appreciate you joining us. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you give my guy Sammer a follow. And we'll definitely be linking up during the offseason doing some BS.
For sure. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
For sure. See you guys later, man.
See you later,
brother.
Dude, I love
Loose Cannons podcast,
man.
good stuff. I
Super
literally was
entertaining.
listening yesterday. I was at Kroger and picking up a few pieces. I was listening to Poppy and Sammer. This is those two. I don't know where Stank was, but definitely entertaining podcast.
Super entertaining. And let me tell you guys about Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night. No Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology. It's been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
And let them know Woodward Sports sent you. And Eazy, tell us about Dispo.
Dispo dispensaries when we come back, but I'll tell you right now, you could win $1,000 12 times over. All you have to do is hit a Dispo location and get in your bracket challenge in before March 17th. That's Dispo, your local cannabis plug.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but two vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatic electronically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service the customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford, find new roads.
Easy. Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm still figuring out the trade we just got. How would you guys like to win $50,000? It's a Woodward Sports $50,000 Bracket Buster Challenge, brought to you by Glorious Cannabis, Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, and Soroki's Chicken and Pizza. Register for your chance to win at any Lady Jane's and or Soroki's location, or just scan the QR code right here. The shot clock is ticking. Register today at woodwardsportsbracket.com. That's woodwardsportsbracket.com, and you can get $50,000 richer. Richard! What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live, woodwardsports.com. I'm Eazy, join my guys, Spimo Rax, Young Chris, Nicholas Kohloff. Nick, you were going to say something before we went to break. I apologize, man.
Oh, I was just going to say, shout out the Tampa fans. They were actually super nice down there this season when the Detroit Lions went to Tampa Bay, and I was down there tailgating. They were just a great fan base, honestly, so it's cool that you guys have a good rapport with their podcast.
It's honestly one of the best, non-Detroit Lions podcasts. I literally listened to him yesterday. I'm not a Buccaneers fan by any means. If anything, maybe a little bit more of a Saints fan because of Reggie Bush. But I see it in the chat. A lot of you guys calling this a bad trade. I'm all ears. All right, I'll put the phone number back in the chat. How is this a bad trade?
Yes, I don't understand.
You needed a quarterback one. You got the quarterback one with a championship pedigree. One with a little Super Bowl ring. A guy that played with Tom Brady. I don't know what that means, but Tom Brady's got some type of aura around him. If there's anybody that has an aura, it's fucking Tom Brady, for Christ's sakes. And on top of it, too, you got 2 picks in return. And $14 million on the cap is nothing. As I said earlier, you could still go out there and get Danielle Hunter. We just had a guy who covers the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who's best friends with the GM. Tell you that he also fits the mold of a Dan Campbell guy. Yeah. He's got that dog attitude. And then you got him in a situation where he just got traded from a team that just made the playoffs. Got a little chip on his shoulders.
And you got 2 picks.
He's in a contract year.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. This is a good trade. This is a good trade for Brad Holmes. You're not going to get somebody in the 3rd round who's better than Carlton Davis. Flat out. That pick, 92, you think there's going to be someone on the board at 92 that's better than Carlton Davis stepping in day one? You're fooling yourself.
Well, I'll say this. Maybe you get somebody that is just as good and or better than Carlton Davis down the road.
Yeah, in 2-3 years. Yeah.
Day one and holding down CB1 as a rookie in that 3rd round pick. By the way, too, it's the Detroit Lions pick in the 3rd round, meaning it's closer to a 4th round pick than anything.
Yeah.
Nick, we got somebody on the phone saying it's a bad trade.
We got Cordell live on air. Cordell, what's your thoughts on this trade?
Cordell, how you feeling?
I got a problem with anyone who has a problem with this trade.
Yeah.
I will say the only thing I think that's bad about this trade is where does this put us in terms of being able to still get any kind of premier talent on the defensive line in free agency?
Say it one more time.
So I guess what I'm wondering now is where do we stand in terms of now that we've got this corner? Yeah, we didn't give up a lot to get a pretty good corner. The trade in and of itself isn't necessarily bad. I just don't know what this means in terms of our ability to still go out there and get a pass rusher.
You still have the ability to do that, and I still think they will do that. I don't know if it's going to be an edge rusher, but I do believe they're going to go after an interior defensive lineman. They have the ability to grab one in free agency and bring one in, so I still think they're going to make that happen.
I mean, I guess if if we still have the ability to get that, that would be nice. Do we know Carlton Davis? Is he due a contract or?
This is his last year on his deal, so I don't know if they're going to re-sign him. I would assume so. I would assume they make a move to re-sign him, but we'll see what happens from there. But this is the last year on his contract.
Appreciate you calling, man.
Yeah, appreciate you calling in, Cordell.
So I actually I lied because my microphone doesn't work when we're doing phone calls today. I don't know what's going on. That's the second time we did the phone calls. My mic just not working, so apologize. But I will read your comments on Woodward Sports Chat. I mean, a lot of people just saying it's a bad trade. You need to give some reason to it. You can't just sit there and say bad trade. You give me some context. Like help me buy that idea a little bit here because I just can't. I really can't. You got a CB1. It's a reasonable cap hit. You got 2 draft picks in return for it. Like, you got him on the perfect guy that Brad Holmes, by the way, like, mindset-wise, we already heard that from Sammer. He told you that. But on top of that, too, what do we always say on this show? The contract years, that's when guys perform. Shout out to Broden in the Woodward Sports Chat. He's got a shirt that says contract year.
Yeah.
And if you're a sports fan, you know what that means. You're going fucking hard because the Bay Day is coming. Like you're busting your ass for that next big check. He's on that situation. He's got dog mentality already. And guess what? We had Kendall Vildor beforehand.
Yeah.
What are we doing, guys? 6'1", 206, 2 picks. Come on, guys. I just don't see how this is a bad trade. I really don't. And again, I'm looking for a comment that I guess goes into depth with it. I don't. A top 10 corner in this league says what's the word? Top 10 corner in this league. I can't. I don't
know about that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know about that. But I'm also not too familiar with Carlton Davis. I mean, he very well. He might. Maybe once upon a time.
Or is one of those players that could be 17 one year and 8 the next, right? Like that kind of mid-tier, like we talked about it 2 years ago with Goff, right? Where it was like we probably had him like 14th, and then he played like a top 7 quarterback. Like there's from year to year, there's always going to be massive change and fluctuation, that stuff. So I like the trade just because you got the cornerback one, and I feel like this is Brad Holmes doing what he does best and finding that market value deal, because he could have went out and gotten Snead. I think he had the assets to do it, clearly. But going this route, I think was smart, getting additional draft picks and also giving up a draft pick that wasn't as crucial as what people were talking about, maybe getting your higher third for Snead. So would you rather give up your higher third for Snead and pay him more money, or would you rather have the flexibility that you have with getting this cornerback and the additional assets? So I think this is Brad Holmes doing what he does. I think you're never going to expect him, or you should never expect him to go at the top of the draft board, at the top of the free agent board, and say that's my guy and get that. His list is always different. His board is always different than everybody else. So I like this trade for that, and I think we still have a ton of flexibility going forward.
And one thing to keep in mind too, right? The 2 6-round picks. Like if anybody's crying over the back end of the 3rd round, like with those 2 6-round picks, and I gotta look into it to be, I guess, exact on it. But like, I feel like you could get that, give those 2 6-round picks up and get into the 3rd round if it means that much to you. I mean, really, or 4th round if you're looking at the 3rd round pick like that. Because again, it's in the back half of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like so you're still in the 3rd round, by the way, because the Vikings trade with T.J. Hawkinson, like, and you're higher in the 3rd round with that pick than you were with the one we got just from draft rotation. Like I don't know. I gotta look up the trade. Let me see the compensation for 2 6-round picks. I'm actually curious.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But I love this trade. And like you said, you got a guy on a contract year who is going to go out there and do everything he can to get that contract, to re-sign. You're trying to make a Super Bowl run. This is a cornerback who's played in the Super Bowl, who's won a Super Bowl before. So I'm excited with it.
Absolutely. And I apologize. I'm texting Cody Brundridge. Hopefully get a link up with him later on in the week too, talk a little bit of UFC. But I have no issue with this trade. Like it's A+ trade. The fact that you got trade picks on top of it, you can't really beef with it at all. And also, you still have the money to make stuff happen.
Yeah,
right?
They're not done. This isn't going to be the last move the Lions make. This is just a move to solidify that cornerback position. So now you don't have to worry about Kendall Vildor playing in the NFC Championship game. Now you don't have to worry about that. So,
and by the way, too, I mean, Spenny, bitch about the re-signing of Emmanuel Mosley. If this guy's unavailable like that, I mean, you have a CB1 as your backup.
Well, I mean,
when healthy.
Yeah.
Like, like Brad's doing the damn thing, and it's not over yet. Let's go to break real quick here. Tell us about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where anyone can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes of the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of that for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, more than 50 in Metro Detroit, and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party, it's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
The new glorious ice water bubble hat pre-roll, now with diamonds, constantly pushing to create the best cannabis experience. They got the perfect boost that comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flower with only the highest terps, making the best even better. Glorious Cannabis, check us out at your local retailer or visit gloriouscanna.com.
Glorious!
Eduardo O'Neill says, agree to disagree, Eazy. I gotta hear your side of it, Eduardo. I don't. We don't have a cornerback one. You got one. There's only 1 to 4 lockdown cornerbacks in the league at any given time, in any given time period throughout the history. Like you guys thought they're gonna get a Jalen Ramsey in his prime? You thought Brad was giving up compensation to get L'Jarius Sneed and then reset the cornerback market with him? When he told you he wasn't, like, why'd you allow yourself to think these things? Like, it's, I don't know. It's like okay, you just go to callers. Maybe got someone with a reason.
Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, though,
could be nasty.
That's pretty nasty.
Could be nasty.
Yeah, we got Vin from Virginia, and I think he's right there on the point you were just pointing out, Eazy. Vin, you're live on air.
Heavyweights, what's going on, y'all?
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I've called in like the morning show, but this is the first time I'm calling into y'all's show. But
what up, man?
Love the content y'all do.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, I'm kind of in on Easy's take. Like, did we really expect Brad to make any splashy moves? Like, you know, we see all like the rumors that we were going to go in for Sneed or like Danielle Hunter. Like, do we really think that's going to happen? I just don't really see it. Until Brad does something like that, then I'll believe it. But just a fun fact about this Carlton Davis kid, we all should be familiar with who he is, and I put it in the chat. He's the guy that Craig Reynolds blew up in that Tampa Bay game. So at least he doesn't have to see Craig Reynolds no more in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? So, but love what y'all do. Yeah, hopefully it works out for us. We keep getting all these guys that kind of are injury prone, but hopefully they work out. So we'll see.
Ben, appreciate you calling, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Jeff Olson, another Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. It's the third for Carlton Davis. Let's go. I don't know if he's talking about that, and because he's obviously part-time Lions fan, part-time Bucs fan. I don't know what he's got going on there, but I don't know if he's excited for the third-round pick for his team or the acquisition for the Detroit Lions. But that third round, again, I was reminding everybody, it's the back half of the third round. So it's
pick 92.
Yeah, like, come on.
Austin Eckler signs a 2-year deal with the Commanders. That is per Adam Schefter. Per Tom Pelissero, it's worth up to $11.43 million.
Per?
What?
Is that per
No,
year?
it just says 2 years worth up to $11.43 million. Why does nobody like what?
He doesn't run the ball well. He's more like a receiving. He's good out of like the backfield catching the ball.
Still.
Compensation
7 seasons,
for
he's got 69 touchdowns.
I brought it up too for the people crying about the third round pick. What Brad gave up to move into the third round to grab Broderick Martin was pick 122, pick 139, and pick 168. Like those 2 6-round picks can help you get back into that third round.
Yeah.
Which again, just one more time, was in the back half of that third round. Look, if I know Eduardo said he agreed to disagree. I don't see if he commented the reasons why. Did Jeff Olson comment what he meant by "let's go"? Was it from a Detroit Lions perspective, or he said y'all would like CD3 elite versus big receivers? Says Jeff Olson. Guess we go against twice a year.
Pretty big receivers.
Pretty big receivers.
Yeah.
Pretty big receivers. Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore. It might even end up being Roman Dunze. You could add on that too.
What's
Watson? Christian Watson. Yeah. Romeo Dobbs pretty big too. Just not as fast as the other guys, but he's a big body guy. You got your CB1. This is not there's no loss in this. I can't see it. Y'all don't know what Brad would do. You wanted to kneel during the deadline. This is Cartier. That's out there too, and they still have the money to do that. I still think they grab a defensive end, especially after the acquisition of Marcus Davenport. There's no way that you're like just agreeing to him. Luke Sam, Eazy was not listening to that Bucks guy. What about it?
He literally just said he's a cornerback one. But
yeah, he said it. Were you not listening to the Bucks guy?
He couldn't stay healthy. He did a little, and that's what it is. If he stays healthy, he's a cornerback one. So,
also $14 million is nothing. Literally, it's nothing. Brandon Dillinger, great point he makes here. Jared Goff has great size.
That's true.
Massive size.
Where's Gun Guy?
PFF graded Davis as an average to below last year. Can I tell you that PFF had Aiden Hutchinson graded over Chris Jones? And I think they had Aleem McNeil graded over both. So there's your PFF grades.
Yeah.
Hope that means something to you, bud. Commander seeking NFL bodies. He's an upgrade to what we had last season. Absolutely. Carlton Davis is a fart in the wind in coverage. I'm going to pretend to hate on Eazy so he starts reading my stuff again. I think you meant my stuff. This is Mike Hilton. Shout out Mike Hilton. 3-3 just wants Brad to make splash plays, even though some of these guys probably do more to hurt your cap over time than helping the team.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, 3-1-3 is, I could be wrong, 3-1-3 Kerp. I'm pretty sure he's the one that attacked us over the Chase Young stuff.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
I'm pretty sure he was upset about that one. But now you want the guy? I don't know.
It's all right.
Carlton Davis can get an extension and free up more cap space still. This is bada bing, bada boom.
These people don't trust Brad Holmes, or they do trust Brad Holmes. I don't get it.
By the way, I don't know if you guys remember back when we played the Buccaneers, but Dan Campbell has that prior relationship too with their head coach. I can't think of his name right now. Todd Bowles. And so I'm thinking like coverage and scheme wise, philosophy wise, kind of fits a lot of things that AG likes to do. I like the fact that we finally got a guy that's like 6 foot and above too.
Yeah.
We talked about it and just like doing these player breakdowns in the draft, how we like these longer corners.
Yeah, you got a big cornerback that can play on big receivers, and that's comfortable in man coverage. So
still got Emmanuel Moses to back up too.
Yeah.
I think a big thing is now you're not desperate. You know, you don't have to go up and trade for one, or you don't have to throw like a really big, expensive bag at one of these guys. You just got your guy. So honestly, I think this is good. But when we look 24 hours ahead here and we come back to do the show tomorrow, who's the one guy that you guys want the Detroit Lions to go after?
DJ Reader. DJ Reader is the one guy that I would want the Detroit Lions to go after because he's big, he eats double teams, and he frees up one-on-ones for guys around him. And the guys around him he'd be freeing up one-on-ones for are Aiden Hutchinson and Lee McNeil. So if you get DJ Reader, I would be extremely happy.
Dorrance Armstrong, I'll throw in there. These guys quietly be getting like 6 to 9 sacks every single year for the Dallas Cowboys. Was a free agent. He seems like that under the radar type of signing Brad Holmes would make. Obviously, Dino Hunter, I mean, that would be sweet. I'm not expecting that, though. The same way I told you guys not to expect anything with Jerry Sneed, I don't think you should allow yourselves to expect anything with Dino Hunter. But it's a possibility that's still out there. I'm not going to pretend it's not.
It's definitely a possibility. We know Brad likes him. So, could go after him.
I said it once, and I'll say it again real quick. Armstead, I think, is a guy to look out for this defense if
Eric
we can get him
Armstead.
at a good price.
That's a block eater. 6'7", 290.
you were the
313 said he
Eazy
wanted
folks.
Chase Young. I apologize, brother. I thought you were the ones hating.
He probably was.
I'm going to pretend.
Gun guy in the clutch.
No way. Are they saying Hunter to...
Shout out Gun Guy.
I don't
Take
know
your
if
pants
that's
off.
confirmed.
What?
They're all saying Hunter to 49ers, which I've heard was rumored, but...
No way.
I don't think so after the
I don't think
Leonard
that's...
Floyd contract.
Yeah, 2 year 20.
Who is the chat saying that, or
49ers
Yeah, they're
can't keep
just
getting
saying-
away with this.
Yeah,
No, that's
it
not.
was chat saying it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that anywhere. I think they're saying that like jokingly.
Just read a couple more comments. I run it all the way back. I apologize.
Carlton Davis was the guy who got hit by Craig Reynolds. He was the player who was blocked by Craig Reynolds on that touchdown run.
Dorrance Armstrong's already gone since Chef Talks NFL. Damn, I did not know that. Lions selling fans on we need to sign our own while contenders are loading up. Nobody really loaded up yet, I think. But we do need, I mean...
Some guys in our division are making a little bit
Yeah, that's
movement.
fair.
Yeah, I
I'm
would
gonna call them
say who
contenders,
loaded
though.
up the
That's
most
fair.
would be
Philly.
the Eagles.
Yeah, Philly.
Yeah.
With Saquon and who'd they get?
They got that giant safety, right?
Bryce Huff. They got Bryce Huff and Saquon.
What's the words? CJ still out there? Armstead, Reader. Simmons re-signed, I'm pretty sure. Unless I'm misreading what he's saying. Or is this another Simmons I may be unaware
But
of.
I mean, CJ and Simmons are safeties, so that wouldn't help us at the cornerback spot.
Yeah. Trying to see the breaking news before we get out of here.
Speaking of one of those guys in the 49ers, Chase Young, that you guys were obviously known for wanting come deadline time. Is that a guy that you would still take a look at, or after his
That's
kind
not
of
gonna
playoff?
happen.
I'm open to it, but
his
I'm
playoff-
open to it, but
It's
yeah,
not gonna happen
He's not a
type
Brad
thing.
Holmes guy. I think they made that pretty clear.
Denico Autry signed to the Texans, Brian Perry. But I was a Denico Autry fan. I thought that was something going to happen too.
Yep. Well, that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. Make sure you smash that like button. For Eazy, Nick, and Chris, I'm Spencer. We're the Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, DJ Reader will be a Detroit Lion. Peace.